In this tutorial, we're going to explore 3 different ways to blend images or profiles with backgrounds. Now, if you learned anything in this tutorial, don't forget to press that like button and subscribe. All right, let's get down to the meats and potatoes. Welcome back. So for this design, we are starting with a workspace that is the size of 1200 by 1600 pixels. I'm going to go over to Elements and I'm going to place a photo of a woman on my workspace. I'm going to grab this photo and I'm going to remove the background. And I'm just going to make her a little bit taller, like this. And I'm going to place a background on my workspace. I'm going to set this image as my background. And now I'm going to place a gradient on my workspace. The first gradient, I'm going to place it on my workspace. And I want to customize the color of this gradient, but the color chooser isn't up here in my toolbar. But what I can do is I can select Edit, and I can go to duotone and go to custom, and I can change the highlights and the shadows. So if I click black, there is an eyedropper here, and I can grab that and just bring it over here because I want to select a color that is closer to this orange. So that's the shadows. And now I'm going to do the same for the highlights. I'm going to grab my color chooser and I'm going to do the same thing like I did before. Now you can see that the color is virtually the same as the suit jacket of this woman. And I'm going to grab that gradient. I'm going to go Position and Layers, and I'm going to bring that gradient right to the back. And now I'm just going to make it a little bit larger. I'm going to bring it up a little bit, and I'm now going to make a duplicate. Now for the duplicate, what I want to do is I want to make the gradient more solid on the bottom to kind of diffuse that harsh blazer line, but then more transparent on the top. So I'm just going to bring it up here just to show you what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to expand this on the right. And I'm going to resize it, bring it down. And I'll just make it larger over here so we can see that that transparency is kind of moving up a little bit. But I just want a little bit of that solid gradient on the bottom. So I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm cropping it down. And then I'm going to bring it down as far as I can until the blazer is softly diffused. So if I take it down too much, then we can see right through that blazer, and that's not what we want. So I'm just going to bring it up a little bit until that harsh line on the blazer is diffused, kind of like that. So now it's kind of blending in on the bottom, and we can't really see that harsh line of the blazer. I hope that makes sense. So we can see now that it's kind of diffused in on the bottom, but then it kind of diffuses as you move up. Now let me grab that other one up here. I'm just going to bring that up a little bit like that. And I'm going to go to transparency, and I'm just going to make it a little bit more transparent like that. And so that is our first design where we're using a gradient to kind of diffuse a profile into the background. I'm going to create another page now, and we're going to try something a little bit different. All right, for the second one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a background on my workspace. I'm going to set this image as my background. And I'm going to place a photo of a construction worker right in front there. And for this example, I'm going to use the background and try and blend it in with the man. So I'm going to go back to elements, and I'm going to search for a brown gradient. And again, if I don't find something that really matches, I always have the option to use duotone to get a better color tone. But I'm going to use this one for now. It seems to be working okay. And I'm going to make a copy of this one. Just make it a little bit larger for now. And I'll make a copy because I don't want to see that edge that's coming on the bottom, that sharp edge of the shirt. So I'm just going to make a copy. And then I'm going to move it down just a little bit so that we can see a better transition between the brown and his arms and the rest of his body. So that is the second one. And now we're blending in the background with the foreground to make a very nice, subtle blending technique with the background. And I'm going to add another page, and we're going to try a different type of scenario. I'll go into my recently used, and I'm going to place this photo on my workspace. I'm going to place this as my background, and it's a little bit crooked, so I want to fix that a little bit to just straighten it out. So I'll just leave that like that. I'll go back to my elements, and I'm going to place this image of a man on my workspace, and I'm going to remove the background. And I'll make him a little bit bigger, but I'll bring him down just a smidge like that. And now I'm going to go back into my elements, and I'm going to search for a blue gradient to kind of help me transition that background in with the foreground. And I'll place this background on my workspace. It is upside down, so I'm just going to flip it so that we get the bottom there. And I'm just going to make it a little bit larger like that. And I'm going to bring it up a little bit. And I'm going to take a copy. I'm just going to put the copy on the side for a second. I'm going to grab that first one. I'm going to go to position and layers, and I'm going to bring that first one down behind the image of the man. And then I'm just going to make it, I'm going to crop it, make it a little bit smaller. And I'm going to resize it and bring it all the way across like that. And again, what I want to do is I kind of want to diffuse that bottom so that it looks like it's blending in with the photo. So I don't want to actually see that edge. So I'm just resizing the bottom where the gradient gets thicker. And I'm just going to leave the rest like this. And we can see now that that blue is blending in perfectly with the body of the man and the background and the graffiti background. And that's about it. And that was just 3 different options or ways that we can blend a profile picture with a background to make it seamlessly blend into a photo that you can use. I hope that you did enjoy this tutorial. If you did, press that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn that notification bell on. And if there's anything else that you want to see, just drop it in the comments. All right, my friends, for now, I will say bye-bye. Until next time.